let's look at this afternoon's two-game slate on Draftkings. We have Carolina, the New York Rangers, and then Vegas and Dallas after that. The first thing you'll notice is in targetability ratings, our highest rating is 14.65 for Carolina, and our lowest is 11.6 for the New York Rangers. All that to say, no one is in a great spot. 14.6 as our highest rating is very low. These are all good teams. The goalies have been playing pretty well. It's nothing stands out as you have to play this team or stack this team, because there's only 3 points separating our highest and lowest score in terms of targetability, which again takes into account the opposition goalies' season stats, their playoff stats, their opposition's expected goals against, their own expected goals for, and then their projected high danger chances to get the targetability score. So all four teams are in play tonight. With that being said, let's look at Money Puck's graph of expected shots on goal and expected goals for during the playoffs here. So at the top, you'll notice we have Carolina and Dallas, but Carolina's stats all came from their previous series. However, in the regular season, they were also the best team in the league in terms of expected goals or expected shots on goal for. So they're just a team that puts a lot of pucks on net. Dallas has also been shooting a lot during these playoffs in this series against Vegas. So those two teams make the top of the list for expected shots. The Rangers don't shoot a lot, but they're efficient. They're near the top in expected goals. And so even though they're not putting as many pucks on net, they're making the most of their shots. To be expected, they're a very talented team. A lot of good skaters, a lot of good goal scorers on the Rangers squad. And then dragging up the entire playoffs are the Vegas Golden Knights, who have not been able to put pucks on net, have not been able to score goals, but they have had incredible goaltending from both Logan Thompson when he was starting and Aiden Hill, especially last game for the Golden Knights. Those two guys are the only reason Vegas is even in this Game 7 with Dallas. Dallas has been the better team. Vegas has just had awesome goaltending performances, and the stats bear that out here. So the way this helps me figure out fantasy value is with Carolina and Dallas being the two top teams by far in terms of expected shots. Yet these two games being close makes me think that I actually want to build my teams around which goalie I want to play. And my thought is that I want to use either Shesterkin or Hill, assuming Hill starts again for Vegas. Again, with these two games being essentially 50-50 games, if one of those two goalies should win, I would think they would be the highest scoring goalie on the slate, because they, in theory, will have more saves than should Ottinger or Freddie Anderson get the win. So I'm thinking I want to start with Shesterkin or Hill and then kind of build my lineups out from there. Again, all three targetability scores are relatively close, so there's no one that is a terrible play, no one that's an especially great play. It's going to be about kind of the story your lineup's going to tell then. And I'm going to start that story with my goalie for tonight. And I added this here just because of the way this two-game slate works out. In my mind, I either want to play Hill or Shesterkin. And then once I decide on which of those two goalies I want to play, how am I going to build my lineup from there so that all the pieces of my lineup work together and give me a chance to win a tournament. So if I'm playing Aiden Hill tonight, then I think I want to use Vegas' second line. They're on the road. They have some power play correlation at least. And then if I play Hill and Vegas' second line, I can afford Carolina, either their first line or their second line. And Carolina, again, puts the most pucks on net, so you have chance there for not just obviously more chance to score because more shots are going on goal, but also then hitting the shot bonus from your stacks. So I'm looking at Carolina 1 or Carolina 2. The Carolina 2 is listed up here because they're on the road against New York, which means they can avoid the Rangers' best defensive line. But either one's fine. Carolina 1 did great work in the first series. They put up a lot of points for them. And Seth Jarvis was also really good. He's on Carolina 2, but he also plays on the top power play. So you could do something like, if you go Hill, Vegas 2, you could full stack Carolina 1 and then use Jarvis as the fourth skater there, potentially. And then if you want to go with the Shesterkin angle with the Rangers winning, then I'm going to play Shesterkin. I'm going to use the Rangers 1, and then Dallas 1 at home, as, again, Dallas is the better team in that series too, with same reasoning as Carolina, with the seeming likelihood of putting more pucks on net, better chance at goals, better chance at shot bonus, things like that. So Hill, Vegas 2, and then Carolina, or Shesterkin, Rangers 1, and Dallas is kind of the two routes that I think I'll be looking at tonight. And then we need one-off defensemen or some cheap defensemen. Not a lot of cheap shot-blocking defensemen in these two games here. Keandre Miller is my favorite for sure for the Rangers, and he just happens to be the cheapest of the four that stand out. He's $3,500 on DraftKings tonight. He's the first place I'm going if I need either a one-off defenseman or to try to save a little bit of money, a guy that's playing minutes and has a good chance at hitting the blocks bonus. It's Keandre Miller. Trouba, he's not cheap. He's $4,600, but he has been really, really good for the Rangers so far in the playoffs. In fact, let me go check his stats for the last 5 games. Trouba, 24 blocks in the last 5 games. That's absurd. So he's been awesome. I have no problem going with Jacob Trouba if I have the 4,600 anyway. I prefer him to McNabb probably. And then the second cheapest defenseman, Chris Tanev, he's also been blocking a lot of shots in that series with Vegas. So Keandre Miller, then Trouba, if I can afford him. Tanev, I need to save money. And then McNabb, he just always makes the list. He's been consistent. He's been very good for Vegas. 4,400 still feels a bit pricey, but if you have exactly 4,400, you can't get to Trouba, then McNabb is fine. Being that this is 2 close games, everything is in play for tonight. Again, this is going to be the 2 ways that I'm going to be deciding between the Hill or the Shesterkin lineups. Does not mean that Freddie Anderson or Ottinger are not in play. Of course they are. If your goalie gets a win, you should probably feel pretty good either way. I don't see either game being a shootout. The playoffs the last couple of days have been so low scoring, and that's kind of what I'm expecting today. If one game does shoot out, I would expect it to be the Carolina Rangers game, so you could potentially game stack that and then play whatever goalie you think is going to win from the night game with Vegas and Dallas. I think that pretty much covers it for our 2-game slate today. If there's anything else you all want to see added to the spreadsheet here, let me know. I've been trying to add in the specific skaters. I don't think these are updated for today. These are based on their last game. And then I put the skaters in bold if they also have power play correlation. So with Dallas, all 3 guys played on the top line last game and the same power play unit last game. Both Carolina 2, I think Teravainen and Jarvis are split up on the power play, and Stahl doesn't have any power play time, which is why no one is in bold. There's no power play correlation with Carolina 2. It's only even strength. Okay, so good luck tonight, guys, and thanks for watching.